So we're trying out some things with our filming.
Very Bailey and shoe girly.
So just bear with us. Jen, I can't see you.
I know, give me a second.
So we apologize, but today we're going to be talking about Hawaii and specifically Oahu. So we actually got some questions that we're going to go through as we're talking about Hawaii. And then again, just to remind you all that this goes up on our YouTube afterwards. So if there's anything that we talk about that you want to hear again or can't remember what we said, then all of that will be on YouTube for you later.
Yes.
So.
You have to scoot forward a little bit. I can't see this far in my glasses.
Well, you can see forward and I'll see back here.
Can you see?
Yes, I see just fine.
Okay, please hold them.
Oh, now she's leaving again.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I know, I'm all over the board today. It's okay.
Difficulties.
I have jury duty again today. It's throwing me off. Like, I cannot get my life in order.
So, hey guys, thanks for joining. So today, as you probably saw on our Instagram from last night, Jen is talking about Oahu. So I am actually from Oahu. I grew up in Makaha, west side.
Makaha.
And my family still lives there. So my mom is Hawaiian. She's from the North Shore. And
I am not Hawaiian.
She's not Hawaiian. So
At all. I am a Haole, as I am called.
She's total Haole. My dad's Haole, so we love Haoles too. But my mom is a local girl from the North Shore, and so I lived on Oahu until I was 14. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But Jen last night kicked it off with Lalani on the blog. And
Right.
Lalani, for those of you who don't know,
Disney.
is
Disney.
Disney.
It's a Disney hotel.
Awesome Disney resort.
Right.
It's located on the west side, southwest side of Oahu. So
Right, and the reason we went with the Aulani was I had originally Aulani. It's why you need a Hawaiian in your life. Aulani. The reason that we stayed there was I originally had been looking at houses, and because I had teenagers and was worried that they were going to be wandering the streets all night long, I decided to go with a resort because I knew that they would be contained and that there would be a little more security to give them a little bit more freedom, which turned out to be a great thing.
yeah, the Lalani is a great choice for families, kids, little kids, older kids, everybody loves it out there. So what it is actually is they made this series of man-made coves in a place called Kolina, and the Lalani sits on one of those coves right next to the Four Seasons. But if you want to stay there and Disney isn't your thing, and Four Seasons isn't your thing, there's also a Marriott timeshare there that is beautiful, that we've stayed at, and it's got more of an apartment type setup, and there's also some private condos that you can rent. So that's one of the great options for staying on Oahu. So one of the questions that we got is where should you stay when you go to Oahu? Jen loved the Aulani, but there's really sort of four, sorry, I'm talking a lot.
That's okay. I knew you were going to talk a lot today because it's the Hawaiian, so she's got to talk. It's right.
So there's really kind of four areas I would say that you stay at when you go to Oahu. The first is there's Waikiki, of course, which is iconic and
Busy.
beautiful. It is like in, sorry, my
Grant's back there.
Grant's back.
Grant, come here for 1 second.
Grant, come here.
Come here really fast. Hurry.
So Waikiki is sort of like New York City, but on a tropical, beautiful island. And some people love it, and some people don't.
Come here.
So we're gonna say hi to Grant really quick.
He's going to say hi to us a lot, I would think, in the next few
This
minutes.
is Grant. This is my 4-year-old, and he is all Hawaiian. He got all my Hawaiian genes. Some of my kids did
Little
not,
water baby.
but this kid
He has really good hair.
is meant to be a surfer. So sad for
Really?
him that he lives in Arizona.
Loves snacks and treats, and I feel like he's going to get whatever he wants right now.
Go get your shoes. So you have Waikiki, which is tall buildings and beautiful hotels. The Waikiki beach is amazing. It's a great place to learn to surf, especially in the summertime when you have south swell and no waves on the North Shore. So Waikiki is great, but it is kind of like the New York City of the Pacific.
South swell, and no waves on the North Shore. And only Leilani would know all that. I'd be like, what? There's no waves? That's great. At least I can hang out
small
without.
tiny waves on the North Shore. So
The one thing about, we've stayed in both. We've stayed in Waikiki, and then we moved over into the other area where we stayed at the where?
Lalani.
The Aulani. I've said it wrong this whole entire time.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, Waikiki, we loved it, but a little bit too busy. Like the day we went down there and we did a helicopter tour out of Waikiki, the second trip when we stayed at the Aulani. And it was fun, but I was happy to go back over to the little bit more quiet area. So just kind of if you're looking for a really like quiet feel, not touristy, Waikiki Beach, not the place to go.
Well, and if you're looking for a couple great hotels in Waikiki, the Surf Jack is amazing. It's kind of a small, very surf-oriented hotel kind of in the midst of Waikiki. The Outrigger has been there forever. The Moana, we love the Moana. So there's some really great choices and awesome restaurants and good places to eat.
Tons to do on the beach. That is fun. There's paddleboards and kayaks and
awesome live entertainment and hula shows.
Yeah.
So that's Waikiki. The second place is obviously the North Shore. So if you are surf-oriented at all, or like more of a small town tropical feel, the north side of the island is very lush and very tropical and very beautiful. There's waterfalls and
which who doesn't like waterfalls? I like waterfalls.
Yeah, the Turtle Bay Hilton, or the Turtle Bay, now it used to be the Hilton, no it's not. Turtle Bay is a great place to stay on the North Shore. It's really the only resort on the North Shore.
That's where we swam with sharks. We went over to the North Shore to go with ocean diving. And that was an amazing experience. If you're going there and you even like think you might want to swim with a shark, do it. It was cage free. It was amazing.
And they do a lot of like conservation with the sharks, and they have a really cool program. You can also VRBO a lot of great houses on the North Shore. Hukilau Beach, anything on Hukilau Beach is really fun for kids and families. That's close to Laie. And then if you kind of go a little bit around on the east side of the island towards Lani Kai, there's great beaches that are really good.
And if you need to take Leilani with you so she can pronounce all these words correctly, she's available. Just call her and I'll send her with you.
Yeah. So that's the North Shore. So the east side is great. Kailua Kaneohe, a little bit more of a small town feel, but you have more amenities than what you have on the North Shore. There's Costco and restaurants, but no resorts. So again, you have to VRBO it.
Even when we were at the Aulani, we did breakfast and lunch. We just kept it in our kitchen, which I feel like saves us a ton of money. Because kids are constantly hungry. And we had 4 teenagers.
And boys. You had boys.
And I had 3 boys.
Yeah.
So we went through a lot of
having
snacks.
a kitchen in Hawaii is really great because there's so many yummy like farm stands and fruit stands and places that you can buy great local produce. And so to have that and kind of take it back and do breakfast that way, will save you a lot of money.
Well, and who is not starving? Like I go to the lake, to the beach, I feel like you just
need snacks.
Need snacks the whole entire time. Raise your hand if you need snacks.
I need some spam mixity on the beach. Yeah. That's called a Hawaiian Power Bar, by the way. Spam mixity.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
Did you know? Hawaiian Power Bar. Yeah. So that kind of brings us to the south side of the island, which is southwest side, which is where the Kolina and the Aulani are. And you've got some big, beautiful resorts there, like the Disney Resort and the Four Seasons. Man-made coves, which are great places for kids to play and snorkel and paddleboard. It's super family friendly.
And there's that hidden cove. What's it called? No.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's even hidden from Leilani.
Hidden from me. Is that the one down the beach from the Four Seasons?
Yes.
By Paradise Cove?
Yes.
I don't know. I know what she's talking about.
It has turtles.
There's turtles there.
It was amazing.
There's also fun luau, Paradise Cove luau, right there, which is fun. I think when you go to Hawaii, everybody should do one luau.
Hi, Dina from American Airlines, one of our favorite people.
Hey, Dina, how are you? We're talking about Hawaii. And then if you keep on going down the beach from the Kolina, you get to Makaha, which is where I'm from.
Leilani's stomping grounds.
Yeah, my stomping grounds, which has amazing beaches. And they're actually, there's the Makaha Ranch, which has some guest houses. And there's a really great golf course out there in Makaha Valley. But it's very country, so it's laid back. There's not a lot of restaurants, like not a lot of fine dining restaurants, but beautiful beaches. It's a little drier, a little more of a local vibe, and some really beautiful water and really cheap golfing.
Good info on the golfing, because if you have a husband that maybe doesn't care about the beach so much, but he's a golfer, it's a good way to get him to the beach.
Yeah, so it's about a 25-minute drive from Aulani.
That's not bad.
With no traffic. With traffic, it can be bad.
Yeah, that traffic, it is an issue.
Which is probably something else that we should mention on Oahu. Oahu is notorious for bad traffic. So you have to kind of time your outings based on a workday schedule.
Right.
So if you're driving, do not drive to town in the morning because you'll sit in gridlock for like 3 hours. And then don't try to drive to
no
the
joke,
country.
like really 3 hours.
Yeah, like really 3 hours. When I was a little kid, we used to leave our house to go to school because I went to school in downtown Honolulu. And I would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to leave my house to be there at 8. So, you know, if you want to do that, then leave then. But if not, I would wait till about 9. And then you eat dinner in town, and then you come back after rush hour. So
The day we went in to go to Pearl Harbor, that's what we did. We left after traffic, stayed until it was late that night, and then came back.
and it's
So it
easy
worked out
breezy
great.
after traffic. So
Yes.
yeah, so one of the other questions that we got is why to stay on Oahu over other islands, which is a great question. What do you think, Jen?
I think that they offer so many different things. Oahu has the things that you hear about, North Shore, Pearl Harbor, there's the Waikiki Beach. Like, I think that it's a place, the Polynesian Cultural Center. Like, I feel like if you're gonna go to Hawaii, you've got to go there just because there's so many places that you'll hear about the rest of your life that you'd be like, I was there.
Diamond Head. You need a picture in front of Diamond Head. That's the iconic, beautiful spot on Waikiki Beach. But I agree with Jen. I think it's sort of a good first
Are we
stop.
sisters? No. But we could be, kind of. Leilani is an only child, so I claim her as my sister all the time. And I'm high maintenance, so she's good that she has no other siblings but me.
We are not sisters.
You're my sister.
Sister from another sister.
yeah. And another mother.
And another mother too. Yeah, my mom doesn't. My mom was.
I like Leilani's mom.
My mom's really nice.
Hi, Mama.
Hi guys.
So
So I think Oahu is a great kind of introduction to Hawaii. I
Agreed.
think, like Jen said, there's a lot of things to do there. It's very varied. You can kind of do a little bit of everything. But the other islands are so beautiful. So typically, I go to Oahu. Oahu's home for me. So we go and we stay a few days. But really, I love Kauai.
Did you just hear her say that?
But there's so much variety really across all of the islands that we could spend Instagram stories talking about each one individually. So today we'll talk about Oahu.
Right.
So another question that we get that is on our little sheet here is best airlines. So Dina, cover your ears.
Tina, don't listen from American Airlines. We love American Airlines. It's one of our number one choices.
Yes, we really fly American almost everywhere else. The one exception to that is when I go to Hawaii. And the reason is, and I'll be perfectly honest, is out of Phoenix. So this is kind of the key point for flying to Hawaii, is most flights to Hawaii, you leave in the morning from the mainland because of the time difference. And then most flights from Hawaii to the mainland are red eyes. And I hate red eyes because it's not good, me on a red eye. So for that reason alone, we always fly Hawaiian Airlines to Hawaii because they're the only airline that has a non-red eye direct flight to Phoenix. So that is what we look for when we go to Hawaii. I would say whatever airline has a direct flight to your hometown that is not a red eye is the one that you should fly, because it will make your experience so much better because you're there and you're relaxed and you just had an amazing vacation. And
Oahu's a total tourist trap.
I
don't think it's like a trap. There's not like a trap that's gonna slam on you when you get there.
Waikiki
is super touristy. But I'm telling you, when we were at the Disney Aulani, I'm gonna say it wrong every time. Did you know that Jen cannot pronounce that right? Aulani. I didn't feel touristy at all.
No, not touristy. North Shore
didn't feel touristy at all.
Traffic on the North Shore can get really bad.
You gotta get out of Waikiki.
West Side, not any tourists, honestly. Lots of people who look like me, and I'm very howling.
Not many people look like me.
On the West Side. So there is definitely a touristy stigma about Oahu, and there are other islands that are definitely less touristy. For sure. So that's a little bit about airlines. The other question that we get a lot about is flights or cost of air travel. So
I'm gonna have to ditch you in just a second.
No, you're not. What time is it?
It's 12:15.
Okay,
we have issues. I am sitting on a jury. I have to be at court.
So we're almost done.
An hour and 15 minutes.
2 more things that we'll cover. Cost. If you can find tickets to Hawaii nonstop, especially for under $500 from the U.S. mainland. Buy those and buy them now, because 500, if you get under 500, you're getting a really good deal on air travel as it stands today. That could change, but today, $500 or less is a pretty good deal.
And here's the thing with airline flights, where you'll find a deal, you have to book them that second. Do not walk away from it, because they will not probably be there when you get back.
Occasionally you can get package deals where you get like flights and a rental car and a hotel that can get your costs a little bit lower. And so I would shop around for some of those if you know where you want to stay.
Yes.
What months are best to travel to Hawaii? So summer can be very hot. The end of the summer is hurricane season, and if there's a hurricane anywhere in the Pacific, it can get still and the trade winds will go away, and it will be super muggy and really hot. So summer's crowded, summer's hot. I honestly would stay away during the summer.
Maui.
Yeah, that happened to her. So there you go.
Yeah.
Spring and fall are beautiful, and winter can be rainy depending on what parts of the island. Also, the surf is really big, so if you love surf competitions, winter's a good time to go.
Leilani loves surf competitions.
I do love surf competitions.
She loves them.
I love them. Such a nerd. But the ocean can be really rough, so you have to kind of know where you're staying if you want to go in the water if you travel to Hawaii in the wintertime, because the ocean can be a little unpredictable in January, February.
I don't like them.
So spring and fall are gorgeous time of year to go. What to do about jellyfish and sea urchins?
My Brooklyn got stung by a jellyfish while we were there the very first time that we went to visit. And I know. Side note, I think it's getting better. We talked about this morning, but we kept going to all these locals, this super Hallie, to the locals, and they would not help us at all. My daughter was literally screaming.
Hallie means foreigner, by the way,
yes.
not blonde, just foreigner.
It just means foreigner.
There are locals that are blonde.
Hawaiians, they don't really love us. So we had to find, local Hawaiians did not love me. Anyways, we finally found a lifeguard, and then he saw.
Because you had tourist tattooed on your forehead.
I probably even had a tourist hat and a camera, taking pictures of my kid that was screaming. So what do we do when the jellyfish stings our children? Go.
So you can go to the lifeguard tower, and typically sometimes they'll have some vinegar or other solution that will dissolve the jellyfish or sea urchin or anything else that sticks into your foot. It doesn't happen a lot, just so you know. I've never been stung by jellyfish. I grew up in Hawaii. I've been there a million times since we left. Never stung by jellyfish.
Yeah, Brooklyn's lucky like that.
Yeah, that's not good. I have stepped on a sea urchin quill though, however, that stuck in my foot.
This is a good story. Tell this, Leilani. Go.
When I was little, and my mom peed on my foot because urine, oddly enough, will dissolve both vana, sea urchin, quills, and or jellyfish. So if you cannot find a lifeguard with some vinegar,
that's okay. Just pee on each other. It's totally fine.
No, so what
Leilani's mom peed on her. That's more of this whole story.
Yes, she loves me that much. So what you can do is you can go pee in a cup and then come and pour it on whatever body part is affected with whatever ailment you have, such as jellyfish or...
So clearly, pee solves all your problems.
It's sterile.
It's sterile.
So you're okay.
No big deal.
The other islands, yes, you are very correct about other islands, way more quiet.
Way better.
Yes, although Maui can get kind of touristy in certain spots, I will say. And they have bad traffic too, but Maui is beautiful, and Haleakala is beautiful, and Hana is beautiful, and it's a great place to go, and I'll talk about it later. So...
I know, we could go on all day about this. Okay, I love all of you people. I have to go to jury duty.
Just to jury duty. So thank you for watching. This will be on our Instagram stories for the next 24 hours, and then it will be on YouTube. So
yep. Send us your questions for next week.
Yep. Thank you.
Jen and Lalani live on Mondays. Bye. See ya. Happy travels, friends. Bye.
Aloha.